Look like Cathy Engelbert is in some serious trouble after Colin Clark's brother went on live and called out her league referees.
Oh my God, people. We have breaking news that is shaking up the whole WNBA right now. I can tell you that Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is in more trouble than ever. Colin Clark, the best player in women's basketball, just stepped out of the All-Star game because of a groin injury. Her brother, Colin Clark, went off on the league's officials during a live stream that is now going viral.
Sports media, particularly one with the kind of ideology behind it as the Washington Post, this is a sports media outlet that is...
Millions of people have seen it, and people are furious. The sports media establishment is turning on Engelbert faster than you can say technical foul. But this is where it gets completely crazy.
Certainly going to be more in line with the old WNBA fandom, which, when this kind of article drops, should worry Cathy Engelbert.
And I can't believe I'm about to tell you this. Even the Washington Post that has defended the WNBA through every controversy for years, just published an article that said the league's officiating was a literal threat to the game. When the media that typically has your back starts to turn on you, you know you're in trouble. Commissioner Engelbert, you are in a lot of trouble right now.
To tell you guys, it is not looking good for WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Now, we know Cathy has seemingly found herself in Charlotte well a few times this season. Last year, it was her talking about they need the drama to get the league big. This year is her lack of no response.
Girl, so get ready, because we're gonna look at this complete mess. And by the conclusion of this video, you'll know exactly why everyone wants Cathy Engelbert to be fired as commissioner. But first, if you want to see more WNBA drama coverage, press the like button, subscribe with notifications on, and let's dig into this total mess. Let me tell you how awful things have gone for Commissioner Engelbert. This woman has been dealing with issue after controversy all season long.
To the WNBA referees, man. I mean, she's been completely silent on the matter. You didn't have head coaches. You didn't have players. Now you have had the biggest star in the league, brother, go on live.
Remember when she declared the league needed more drama to grow? Yeah. Well, she's getting her drama now, but it's not the kind she wanted. Players have been getting absolutely demolished on the court, while referees stand around looking like they've never seen a basketball game in their lives. Coaches are having complete meltdowns on the sidelines. And fans are writing angry posts faster than the league can delete comments on their social media.
Caitlin is...
And despite all of this upheaval, what has Commissioner Engelbert done? Nothing. Radio silence. This woman has been quieter than a library on Sunday morning while her league practically breaks apart around her. It's like having a captain on a sinking ship who's more worried about rearranging the deck chairs than repairing the enormous hole in the hull. But here's where things go completely wild, and this is the moment that might have just destroyed Engelbert's career.
Follow my Instagram, Colin Clark, something. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Fixer repping WNBA, it's bad though. Call down the WNBA repping.
Hey, you the man. Hey, follow my boy. You know what the fuck?
Colin Clark, the woman who single-handedly drove the WNBA into mainstream significance, was playing against the Connecticut Sun when calamity struck. We're talking 38 seconds into the game, before fans had even finished collecting their popcorn, when Duana Bonner's knee hits directly with Clark's midsection. And I'm viewing this film thinking, okay, obvious foul call, right? Wrong. The referees handled their whistles like ornamental ornaments while Clark gets worked over.
It's so frustrating what they allow to happen to Colin Clark. I mean, this is cumulative. This is going to keep happening. This game alone, the amount of physical abuse that this girl's getting just hit with again and again and again.
Like a heavy bag in a boxing club. This wasn't some borderline call that might go either way, guys. This was contact that would get flagged in a middle school game, in a high school game, in college, in practically any other professional basketball league on planet Earth. But not in the WNBA, where evidently the refs think they're watching a nature documentary and can't meddle with the natural order of things. So Clark goes down with a groin injury that forces her out of the All-Star game. You know, the league's biggest showcase event that millions of people were planning to watch specifically to see her play. And that's when her brother Colin decided he'd had enough of watching his sister get assaulted on national television, while officials did absolutely nothing to protect her. Colin Clark jumped on a live stream and utterly roasted the entire WNBA officiating system.
Because one of the institutions that's used to taking care of the league and sheltering the league and worshiping the league's sensibilities, you've lost them.
And let me tell you, this wasn't some random diatribe from an irate family member. This was justified wrath from someone who'd witnessed his sister being banged up game after game as refs stood around looking perplexed. His precise words: "Fix your reffing, WNBA. It's horrible, though." Simple, direct, and extremely devastating, because everyone knows he's 100% right. The fact that it took a viral moment from a player's family member to get people talking about this problem tells you everything you need to know about how badly the league has failed. Players have been moaning about calling all season. Coaches have been having sideline meltdowns. Spectators have been screaming about missed calls. But it wasn't until someone with the Clark family name spoke up that the sports media world finally paid attention.
That have normally shielded the WNBA from, people with common sense, right? Normally, this kind of outlet is ones that love to refer to fans as being toxic or the new fandom, yada, 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 right? They're normally coming after the new fans to this league, not new fans to sports. But they are not in this case. In this case, they're calling out the WNBA and Cathy Engelbert. Why? Because of the officiating.
And speaking of the sports media world, let's talk about the Washington Post report that has Commissioner Engelbert probably upgrading her LinkedIn profile right about now. The Washington Post, the same publication that generally runs interference for the WNBA and deems any criticism toxic fan behavior, just utterly trashed the league's officiating. They literally said the WNBA should change its emblem from a woman shooting a basketball to simply a bruise, and advise no call as the league's new motto, instead of whatever inspirational drivel they're presently using. When the media establishment that normally supports you starts writing pieces labeling your product a joke, that's not a warning sign. That's a 5-alarm fire with sirens blasting and emergency workers rushing to the scene.
The amount of contact that's allowed on the perimeter has been a topic of conversation. It was brought up on the ESPN broadcast. It's been a gripe from you, from Becky Hammond, from Stephanie White. What do you see as the biggest issue there and how it could be resolved?
I'm grateful you asked this. I have no problem with the physicality. I think people get frustrated at the consistency. So it's like a ticky-tack here, and then someone gets absolutely assaulted over here. And like, where's the line? And when do we call it? And why do we call it? And I also think too, like, a lot of teams specifically play me very physical, which I get, just to try to like wear me down throughout the game. But a foul is a foul. So a foul in the first quarter is a foul in the fourth quarter. And so it's like, hey, if you're not going to call it in the first, that's fine, but don't call it in the fourth. Or let me guard them that way that they guard me. And so I think that just the officiating across the board, people have...
The Washington Post effectively expressed what we've all been thinking, that WNBA officiating is about as trustworthy as a chocolate teapot. And Commissioner Engelbert has been about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. But wait, it gets worse. Let's talk numbers, since the figures are really mind-blowing. Since opening day, the WNBA has documented 141 injuries. Let me repeat that. 141 injuries in a league with only 179 active players spanning just 44 games. The math is mathing, people. And what it's telling us is that getting injured in the WNBA isn't a chance. It's a mathematical certainty. And we're not talking about twisted ankles or minor scrapes and bruises here. 57 head and neck injuries in just 2.5 seasons.
About Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content.
These are career-threatening, life-altering injuries happening because referees are watching sports like they're at the movie theater instead of doing their actual duties. Rebecca Lobo was really shouting out fouls in real time during broadcasts since the referees on the floor weren't doing it. The league has transformed into the Wild West with basketballs, where players are getting clotheslined, elbowed, kneed, and grabbed, while officials pretend like they can't see what's going right in front of them. It's become so awful that even veteran players like Kelsey Plum are breaking down on TV.
From Cathy, I am sick of this, bro. You need to come up with a systematic plan to fix this damn refereeing. I mean, it is getting so bad to the point now that Colin Clark has missed an appearance for the damn All-Star game. And I'm telling you right now, y'all ain't doing nothing but hurting.
Yelling about the referees because the system is beyond broken. And here's the horrible irony that makes this whole scenario even more upsetting. This is all happening exactly as the WNBA gets a major new media agreement and gains unprecedented mainstream visibility. It's like finally getting accepted to sit at the cool kids table and then instantly pouring spaghetti all over yourself and everyone around you. Network executives are spending millions of dollars expecting to watch top basketball, and instead they're receiving a product where the biggest stars are getting injured by bad officiating, while the commissioner writes about her Valentino shoes on social media. Yes, you heard that right. As Colin Clark is getting beaten up on national television, Commissioner Engelbert is raving about costly footwear like she's running a fashion blog instead of a professional sports league.
I am Brent Clark, Caitlin's father. I've always tried to stay out of my daughter's professional life, but this time I can no longer stay silent. Caitlin left the game again due to a groin injury. When she returned to the bench, she covered her head with a towel, her eyes filled with pain and helplessness.
And recall what Engelbert said before? The no league should be about one player because that player could get hurt? Well, congratulations, Commissioner. Your prophecy has come true by your own neglect. The league received its golden goose in...
While the world saw her enduring physical pain as her father, I know she was carrying far more than that in that moment. With the utmost restraint, she was silently protesting to the WNBA.
Colin Clark, and you immediately tried to convert it into supper. The conspiracy theories are even starting to make sense at this point, with fans wondering if players are being purposely targeted to give the league negotiation advantage during contract discussions. When your officiating is so awful that it looks conspiratorial, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and ask some hard questions.
And the referees. This season, Caitlin has already missed games twice due to injuries, yet she continues to give her all on the court. During the game, she faced multiple instances of aggressive defense from the Suns players, including clear physical confrontation. She tried to communicate with the referees, but her pleas were ignored.
But here's what makes this whole scenario incredibly aggravating. The remedy is glaringly simple. Call fouls when players commit fouls. Revolutionary concept, right? Apparently, this never occurred to the intelligent leadership running the WNBA. Instead of rugby with occasional basketball breaks, maybe try actual basketball with actual regulations. Every missed game from Colin Clark is money out the window.
Were ignored, and even the most obvious fouls went uncalled. After the game, I saw her sitting on the bench, quietly crying, yet she never complained publicly. She chooses to bear the pain in silence, but as her father, watching her endure such injustice in silence breaks my heart.
Every star player injury is a step backward for league growth. Every viral bad call provides supporters a reason to go permanently and never come back. The league should be taking victory laps right now, celebrating unparalleled success and development. But instead, they're dealing with a wholly self-created public relations catastrophe.
So the Fever do take down the Connecticut Sun, but the big news is that it looks like Caitlin Clark is injured again. So there is some really scary, sad, I don't know, it might be earth-shattering to some news.
The social media response has been utterly harsh for Commissioner Engelbert, with calls for her resignation trending, demands for accountability, and horror stories about officiating failures getting shared millions of times. Other player families are starting to speak up after watching Colin Clark's success, because evidently that's what it takes to garner attention in this league.
Looks like Caitlin Clark did get injured again in her right groin this time. The previous groin injury was her left groin, and it is not looking good because groins are an injury that do take quite a while to actually fully heal. According to Jesse Moore, MD, he is a regenerative medicine doctor. He does specialize in...
Sponsors and investors joined up for basketball, and they're getting wrestling matches with intermittent basketball breaks. Poor officiating is essentially endangering the return on their investment, and these are not individuals you want to disappoint when they're writing multi-million-dollar checks.
Sports, and this is what he said about Caitlin Clark's injury. Clark appears to have re-aggravated her right abductor groin strain. The tricky part about groin strains is that they are a very slow healing tissue, easy to re-injure, and constantly required for anything involving her legs. Sometimes even shutting them down for a couple weeks isn't enough. I've had good luck with injecting these specific...
The new audience that came for Caitlin Clark's excellence is staying for the violence, but not in the way the league intends. Casual fans are seeing the star player get beaten up without consequences and asking if this is usual. New viewers are questioning whether this is actually professional basketball. Longtime fans are getting angry, witnessing their favorite players get wounded by preventable contact. Commissioner Engelbert needs to come up with answers.
At where the abductor, usually longest, tendons attached to the pubic bone with stem cells. Ideally, along grafts, I think I'm saying that right, as weaker and inflammatory options like PRP are usually not strong enough and cause too much downtime. These are quite common in NFL players. Whatever the medical staff is doing right now is unfortunately not enough.
Immediately, since all the progress the WNBA has made might disappear faster than you can say no call. The league finally got lightning in a bottle with national attention, sold-out arenas, and appointment television. And they're fumbling it because they can't figure out how to make officials blow whistles when players get fouled.
Now, I don't know if this guy is just like kind of grifting off of the injury, since he does specialize in stem cells, but it's kind of weird because just today I was actually watching something that was talking about stem cells. I listen to a lot of podcasts that talk about stem cells. I do hear that they are kind of amazing for especially soft tissue.
So what do you think? Should Cathy Engelbert be fired as WNBA commissioner? Are Colin Clark and the Washington Post right about the officiating being a threat to the game? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Slam that like button if you want to see more coverage of this entire mess, and subscribe with notifications on, because this story is far from over. The WNBA drama train keeps rolling, and we'll be here to chronicle every last detail.
Healing. So taking a look at the play, right here, right here is where she just grabs her groin, and it is a direct result from stepping back